going on, MSFers? Duelim here, back here with another video. When today, we've got Cosmic Crucible Week 2 recap and my Week 3 defense. So for Week 2, I did go 2-1. Round number 1, I went against Ironing Man. My first attack was Superior 6, all strikers going into a Hive Mind with Black Knight, and this went extremely well. You just have to make sure you have a big Superior 6, so a big Black Knight does not knock them below 30% with the pings, and then you're perfectly fine. Spider Slayer ult, deleted Black Knight, and it went really great. After that, room number 2, we did new warriors into this room here, and this was actually a mistake, and I got very lucky this worked, because Lady Deathstrike could have deleted one of my important characters here, not Cloak, and I could have absolutely lost, so do not do this. This is very sketchy. Room number 3, we used Mercs for Money with Lady Deathstrike for funsies into this, and it absolutely deleted it. No Super Scroll here. Did really well. Lady Deathstrike a little low, but that's okay. Room number 4, we did Eternals, 2-piece SD and Dormammu, and this worked extremely well. Dormammu was for the revive, so once I got deleted turn 1 from like a Pav or from a Noir, I revived, kept on trucking along, and it worked absolutely incredible. Did not miss Photon or Hardlight here at all. Room number 5, we did APOC, Rolk, Tangled, and Cabled to get in front of the Nightcrawler. Not the most efficient, but I knew I had to one-shot it, so went with this, and it worked pretty well. And then room number 6, used Cabal, Kang, and Titania against a Mephisto with Doom, Vol, Kestrel, and Zuggs, and one-shot it. So full one-shots across the board, did really great. On defense, I had Spider Society, and my opponent did SD with Eternals. Robbie got one shot out the gate, and he was still able to take this out. So it is what it is, but I did get a one shot out the gate, so a little bit less efficiency. Room number 2, out of time, held up pretty well here. He used Sus, Tangled, Lizard, and Nova. Got an 8350. Room number 3 did Cabal, APOC, and Zemo to absolutely delete this room. I think this was overkill in my opinion, but that's just me. Room number 4, MOE Dakin did okay here, only an 8360, so not the greatest score, but it did okay. Room number 5, Superior 6, Old Man Logan against my Illuminati, which is the counter that you do when you don't have the mirror. And then room number 6 did Illuminati into my Mephisto room. It was one-shots against one-shots, but I ended up winning by 9 points. Round number 2, going against Kamikaze, or Kamikaze, I don't know. Room number 1 fight, Tangled, Kestrel, Iron Man Infinity War, Nova, taking out a Darkhold Quicksilver. It's straightforward. You've seen it a million times. Room number 2, they had Hive, Black Knight, and I ended up using Superior 6 with APOC here. APOC was just to bolster the damage because I didn't have all the extra assists like I did in Room 1 in the last round, where Superior 6 took this out well. This did really well. Glad this worked. Room number 3, we did a pre-taunt with Mercs for Money, essentially. And this room, it went pretty well, honestly. At 8358, not having to use APOC here was great. There's no Ultimus over here, so using the pre-taunt did not hinder me at all. Room number 4, Cabal, Zemo, Red Skull, deleted this room. Room number 5, we tried to do MOE with Doom, and we know how well that works against Extreme. Sometimes it does well, but unfortunately in this room, Gambit pinging into defense downs, Rogue, all the defense downs, it sucks. Came in with a new Warriors cleanup because I knew Nightcrawler did not have any abilities going into the next fight. Room number 6, we did a double sack, and then we did Eternals SD, and it worked really well. Going into my defense, he did full SD with CGR, got an 8364. Again, got a delete right off the rip, so it worked really well. Next up, he did a single sack with Death Seed, it looks like. Yep, Death Seed. And then came in with New Warriors to clean it up. Room number 3 had some issues. Tried a peg sack and then tried full Superior 6. Did not go very well. And then did an Undying Dorm Ultimus, and it barely squeaked by. Room number 4 had some trouble. MOE did not work well here. Dakin would have been much better here over Ultron, but it didn't work out well. Then he did like an APOC, Tangled, BTS, and Nova. Room number 5 did the mirror matchup, and it did not go well for him. Room number 6, double sack, and then did Cabal with Vulture and Zemo. So not too bad there. And then round number 3, going against Winston Wolf, a Twitch chat member, lovely guy. Room 1, I did Cabal with LDS and Lizard. Absolutely destroyed this room. Room number 2, we did a double sack and then SD Eternals. Room number 3, I did not clear it. I had some issues here. Just a absolutely massive sus annihilators, almost 4.8 million. I could not get through it. Room number 4, Doc and MOE did pretty well. Absorbed Men did die. Moonstone got a little low from the pings, but it worked pretty well. Room number 5, we did the Old Man Logan Superior 6 counter on Illuminati. And then room number 6, we did Tangled, APOC, Rolk, and BTS to take out this conglomerate of individuals. But yeah, it actually worked pretty well. Then coming in for defense, he used Echo SD, and it worked pretty well here. Room number 2, he tried MOE, BTS, and it did not work, and then he had to come in with 2-piece Pegasus, Eternals, and Nova. Room number 3, tried to one-shot it, couldn't with the pre-taunt, dropped the pre-taunt, brought in 2099, and it ended up just barely squeaking through. I think this was just a power differential, because if I tried this on his Annihilators, I would have gotten smashed. Room number 4, Cabal, Zemo, Zuggs, took out this room pretty handedly. Room number 5, Superior 6 Old Man Logan, taking out my Illuminati. And then room number 6, a double sack, and then New Warriors took this out pretty well. So 2 and 1, we're sitting at 1963, about at rank 129 right now, so doing pretty well. But let's get into my defense for week number 3. Week number 3, I'm going to be doing Hive Mind BK in 1, but I'm going to be using Noir instead of Gwenum here. I almost said Gwenpool. And this room is going to be extremely good. Noir is going to take some really quick turns here to get a bunch of assists coming out. Void Knight obviously takes quick turns, and then by the time that happens, you're pretty much going to be on the speed train, and not in a good way, because Carnage is going to start putting out that passive and giving speed, and then you've pretty much lost from there. So I'm curious to see what people could try to throw into here, because Echo in here obviously does good things, stops the assists, but a very low Echo will start feeding into Hive Mind, so curious to see how that works. Room number 2, we're going to be running something pretty interesting. I'm probably not going to keep this in room 2, and I'm probably going to end up moving this to room 4 or room 5 and swap these out. But this is going to be the defense I run. I just don't know where it's going to be yet. We've got Sasquatch, Quicksilver, Mysterio, Lady Deathstrike, and Scientist Supreme. Sasquatch is the pre-taunt here, so if you bring in New Warriors, you have to bring in Big-Time Spider-Man to get through the Sasquatch, which means you're slower than Lady Deathstrike. Scientist Supreme ult puts out slow on non-Orcus members. Quicksilver benefits from getting slow put on him because he'll get 20% turn meter and clear that slow. You get the ally spawn summons from Mysterio, which means Scientist Supreme will give energy to Orcus allies, which means Lady Deathstrike will ult turn 1. Lady Deathstrike will also do incredible damage. I will probably take her up to 3 diamond once I see her in the store. And then Scientist Supreme is just beefy, puts out those debuffs turn 1 and then cleanses them turn 2. So she's pretty great. I'm looking to just catch somebody off guard with this. Somebody underestimates this. If you do have Sentinel, use Sentinel over Mysterio. I do not have Sentinel, so I'm using Mysterio over him right now. You could also use a Hela in here because of the summon mechanic, because the Gregs are obviously coming in over and over again. But I kind of like having Undying for a possible clean-up team on offense, but it is definitely an option you could use there. Room number 3 is not changing. It's just getting bigger and bigger and stronger. Sus, Annihilators, Vol does great things. If you have a massive Gore, you can put Gore in here. Mine's about to hit 5-5, and I think I might put Gore in here over Vol at that point. If you guys have anything 5-5 or bigger, I would say Gore is absolutely worth it. But if you have anything lower than that, I would say Vol is still better here for the potential ult and revive on a bunch of enemies, on a bunch of allies that may have already been dead, and it's just problematic from there. Room number 4, we're going to be keeping Extreme with Nightcrawler in here because it's doing really well. What I could do here is I could definitely move like this to there, and then I could move 4 to 2 and move it around like this, or I could just split these two as well. But honestly, I really like Nightcrawler and Gambit in room 5. So I'm probably going to end up keeping it here like this because you don't want Scientist Supreme in room number 2 because those offense downs that she puts up just gets flipped immediately. So it's counterintuitive. You're just giving the enemy's offense up. And then in room number 5, all of these are obviously heroes, so they benefit from the room rules the best. So I think this is going to be probably your best option here. What I am going to do here, though, is I am going to move Nightcrawler to the middle because I don't want a reflexive taunt to be on Rogue. And then we have the issue of, of Nightcrawler getting rewound by Moonstone ult. I might also throw a Bishop in here over Cyclops for funsies because I can, and might end up doing that. I don't know, though. I probably will keep this full team. It depends on how well it does. And then in room number 6, we're going to use Hive Mind with Spider Society because this is a guaranteed double sack. Not a single person is going to try to one-shot this, which I think is very beneficial for us. And you're still getting to use Spider Society in a pretty good room in 6 here. So I really like this defense so far. I think this is going to be one of the better ones that I've had. I really, really think that Illuminati can do well in any room except for room 1, honestly, because they actually get deleted a lot faster in room 1 because of all the assists actually work against them. But this is probably going to be my defense right here. Most likely going to keep this in room 4 because when Extreme is in room 5, Dawkin just kind of deletes people and goes zoomies. And this has been giving a lot of people trouble in room 5, so I'll keep it there for right now. And we'll see how this does, but this is going to be my defense for week number 3. If you guys are using it and it's doing well for you guys, let me know down in the comment section below. Or if you're going against it and you hate me, also let me know, because I find that absolutely hilarious. But until next time, this has been Duelim. Later, MSFers.